From the Fox 10 Gulfstream, this is Next Weather.
Well, the predictions from the National Weather Service and NOAA are warning of another summer with record-breaking heat. So what does that mean for us here on the Gulf Coast? And as our Hal Sherrick found out, it may mean an even hotter summer with higher probabilities of hurricanes. And it could hit you in the pocketbook when it comes to paying for those power bills. But there are some things you can do to try and cut that bill down.
We're looking at a 40 to 50% chance, this is coming from NOAA, that we will be above average. So there's a good likelihood that we will see another very hot summer where our air conditioners are going to be working overtime once again.
That's on top of record-breaking temperatures last summer. Fox 10 News meteorologist Matt Barentine says on top of the heat forecast, La Nina conditions are returning, setting up for what's predicted to be the busiest tropical season in recent history.
We anticipate a very busy season. We know it's very warm out in the Atlantic, the tropical Atlantic. We know that we have the heat that's going to be building here over the summer. So you put in all that together, it's just very likely that we're going to see, strong hurricanes this summer and possibly a lot of them.
Preparation is key to hurricane readiness, and there are also steps you can do to prepare for another summer of possible record-breaking heat. Power companies in our area have taken measures to get their systems ready for a surge in usage. Experts say there are some preemptive things you can do as well to prepare, which will save you money. One that you can make part of your daily routine is to bump your thermostat up a few degrees while away from home during the day, and then drop it back down when you get home.
Close the blinds on the windows. Set the thermostat at a comfortable level for you in the home, and run it up to 76, 77, and then also you can use the ceiling fans in your room. Use those when you're in your room, and then you can make weather stripping improvements around your windows and doors as well too.
All right, well, with the Memorial Day weekend coming and the heat, of course, the Boating Safety Week continues. So it's a good thing to keep in mind. A lot of people may be taking the boat out for the first time this year. And here's meteorologist Jennifer Lambers for more with Freedom Boat Club with some tips.
We're back out here at Fly Creek Marina and Fairhope with Devin Wood with Freedom Boat Club, talking about boating safety for the summer. And Devin, today I want to go ahead and talk about what people should keep in mind with navigating the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, so we're really fortunate on the Gulf Coast to not have a huge range of tide, so things that people have to think about on the East Coast we don't have to pay quite as much attention to. But again, it just goes back to planning. If you're going somewhere with shallow water in the morning during high tide, and you got to navigate that back during low tide in the afternoon. So just paying attention to tide charts, and all of that can be found on apps like Windy.
And do you have any tips for navigating the channels?
Yeah, so Mobile Bay, as far as channels go, it's not marked as heavily as some of the areas like Orange Beach or Pensacola, but your marinas are marked going in and out, so that's good to keep in mind. Another good idea there is really to study your nautical charts, know where you're going. It's going to have your depth and things like that on there. But really the only channels that are going to be marked are going to be going in and out of marinas or the ship channel that goes across in Mobile to the river.
Some great information there, and we're going to continue to keep you updated on boating safety tips right here on Fox 10.
All right, now we're getting closer to the start of the tropical season, and we want to talk about some notable systems making landfall since the 1950s in our local area. And it's been just so long since we've really been hit on the nose by a major hurricane. You have to go back to Hurricane Ivan, really the worst one that we've had since the year 2000. Dennis was no big deal. It was a teeny tiny storm, and it had a very, very small wind field, so it didn't do a whole lot, even though it came ashore as a Category 3 technically in Santa Rosa Island. Opal was a significant storm, and then you go back to Eloise hitting Fort Walton Beach in the mid-1970s. The worst storm to hit our area really in a long, long time was Hurricane Frederick, and that was a Category 4, which hit in 1979. So it's been a long time, real easy to get complacent when we haven't had a major hurricane hit us in a while. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about storm surge. And so you have your normal sea height, and if the wind is strong, it's going to drive the tide level up higher than normal. And so when we say the storm storm surge is 3 feet. It doesn't mean that the storm surge is 3 feet up the beach or 6 feet up the beach, or in this case 12 feet up the beach. It means that the level of the water rises 12 feet. So anything 12 feet in elevation or lower gets inundated. That can stretch for miles inland. So just wanted to give you some tips about storm surge as we head closer to the hurricane season. Looking at your 7-day forecast, temperatures around 90 by this weekend. Saturday and Sunday looking toasty. Memorial Day Monday, partly cloudy skies, and it looks like we could see an isolated shower based on the current forecast. We do expect a front through here on Tuesday. That may give us a little better scattered chance of rain, followed by some cooler weather next week on Wednesday. But the heat is cranking up in time for the holiday weekend.